Hi everyone, I'm Tom from RecXchange. Just wanted to welcome you to another Tuesday earnings session. So what we do, format of today is basically just to run through some of the key areas within RecXchange, just to really try and help you out, identify where your biggest opportunities are going to lay, and then show you basically how to use them. So what we'll do is we've got quite a bit to cover today, so we'll dive right in. I'll try and answer some questions as and when they come through, and yeah, feel free to put them in the chat, and we can obviously then any that I don't get through whilst going through the platform, I'll try and cover off at the end. But if we notice that anything does get missed, obviously we'll drop you a message afterwards, just so you've got all the answers. But yeah, like I say, let's dive in and get going. So look, this is the RecXchange platform. This is basically your opening homepage. Is what we call the dashboard. This is very much just your sort of navigation, your control panel. You can get wherever you want really from this. What we want to do, what we want to do is make sure that we are covering everything that you're going to need. So let's go through and let's dive into it. So let's see, we've got, as you can see, you've got your main sort of banner running across the top. That's just to keep you updated. As you go down, we've obviously got your community area with your live chat and your community board here in coffee break, and your habits as well. Now, I'm just going to skip through quite a bit of these with a little bit of detail because they're not what I would call your money makers. And I know that obviously a lot of people are joining RecXchange in order to earn more money, and so we're going to spend a little bit more time on them. But some of these are undervalued, so I will explain a little bit. Your habits that we've got here, this is like your to-do list, and for me, I think efficiency is what was key when we thought of RecXchange, and we wanted to make this as easy as we possibly can for people to use. And efficiency was obviously one of the biggest things that we could think of. So we put in habits as well, because personally, I love a to-do list. I will always create one at the end of the day, so I know what I'm doing first thing in the morning and I'm not losing time. And then obviously you just add to it throughout the day, but whether it, call a client on a weekly basis or an ad hoc sort of email that needs to be sent, you just, jot it down and, make a note of it. And once you're done, you tick it off your list, and then you're all up to date. But like I say, that is just your habits section. It's your to-do list. Now, under that, the latest industry news is it's not working. It's not pulling the data through for some reason, and we were looking at fixing that, but we are looking at an upgrade shortly. So chances are we probably won't even have it in there because it was underutilized in the first place. So yeah, we may add it in. If we do, it will be obviously part of the upgrade and it will be fixed. But for now, we're just going to see what we can do with what we've got. So next to it, you've got trending jobs. This is just new roles that have hit the platform that some people are, quite a lot of people are looking at. They're working. They've shown interest in, whatever it may be. As I said, that was a bit of a quick stop through because I want to get really into what I call the money makers. Now, with this, we're looking at clients, roles, candidates. They are, to me, they're the three key channels that you need. Now, we're the only marketplace, we're the only platform within recruitment that can offer you live roles from live clients and candidates. We have all three. Any recruiter will tell you that if you want to make money in recruitment, you need three things. You need clients who've got roles, but you need roles to work on, and you need candidates to fill them. We offer all three of them. Obviously, candidates is, we pull that data through our data provider, who we use, Apollo. They've got, I think, over 270 million candidate profiles, and we've integrated that into RecXchange so you can search and find candidate profiles that would be suitable for your role based on your search. And yeah, you can obviously look to get in contact with them and fill roles all from a single login. Again, just trying to keep things in a single place, keep things efficient. Now, we'll go through these three channels obviously in more detail. So clients, I say that obviously we offer, you know, live clients and live roles, but the clients channel itself is actually your private space. These are not clients that we are, you know, offering out to people to sign with. These are your own private clients. So if you are recruiting and you're doing your own business development, you're doing your own work and building up your own client base, then this is where you can manage those clients. You can put their details in there with the contacts that you've got, and again, it's all private. No one else has access to this apart from you. You can also use your habits as well, linking them to the client, so you can make sure that you stay on top of them and keep in touch. But yeah, it's just it's a way for you to manage your existing or your new clients that you look to win as part of your own recruitment business. With this as well, it is, you know, we try to keep it quite simple, very easy to use. If you want to add a client, you click the pink button that says add client and you just fill in the details. Normal rules apply. Anything with an asterisk, just make sure you fill that in. You can even, you know, if you wanted to do it all, you can even put down the company size, industry, any notes. For me personally, I would look at notes. I would look at just adding additional contacts in there as well, so you've always got them stored. Once that's been done, you can see it will come up on your screen as, you know, as one of the clients that you have, and if you needed to, you can edit it at any point. You can also click and add a to-do or a habit, a custom action, whether it's, yeah, send them an email, send them a report, make a phone call, whatever it might be. You can do all that from here, and you can set it. And obviously, once that's been set, you can see the status sort of with this demo and with the RecXchange. If you're on track, it's green and it's great. If you're overdue, it's red. So it means you've got to make that phone call. You've got to drop that email. Once you're done, you tick it and it's completed. Again, it's a simple CRM. It's there just to sort of help you out and manage your clients if you need to. The biggest one, obviously, which a lot of people join for, and, you know, a lot of our communication is about, excuse me, is obviously the roles. Now, we've got a lot of roles. Over about 90 roles just in the Recs Direct, and probably about 100, maybe 150 in total, including the exchange roles. And we want to break into the difference between the two. So Recs Direct, they are clients that RecXchange we go out and win for you. We're doing your business development for you. We're winning the clients and we're posting their roles on RecXchange only for you to work on. So you have exclusive on some of these roles. So you you can obviously pro tier, you can get access to them straight away as soon as the role is posted. Pro tier users have got instant access to them, and then obviously light users is 7 days after it's been posted. So yes, pro users do get a 7-day head start to find the candidate and get them submitted. And then entry users have got 30 days. So that is 30 days after the role has been posted. That's when entry users will have access. So you can see, if you're ever unsure, you can see on here, so you can see that pros open now, lights in 4 days, entry in 27 days. Of course, there are still quite a lot of roles down here that are open to all. You've got some down here, obviously some of them closed or completed, been placed. So obviously please do keep an eye out for anything that does say placed or closed. Please don't submit any candidates to those, because yeah, you'll lose your tokens. But yeah, have a look at anything that's open. Obviously it's marked as open. It doesn't have the green border around it, and obviously if it's open for your tier, it will also say open there. So you can have a look through um, and see which roles that you want to work on. As I say, these are live clients. These are people who have got roles open. So half the battle has been done. Quite a lot of work has gone into getting these roles on here, and we want to support you in earning money, and we want to do as much as we can. But at the same time, you've still got to work the role, and you've still got to find the candidates and screen them. The standard recruiter process still needs to apply, and we still want you to obviously get your candidates forward for the role. So, and I'll say obviously with a lot of these, don't be afraid. Obviously, if a role's got 33 recruiters working, just have a look at the application. You might think, oh, it's too much competition, but you can see the sales consultant role is now closed. That had 94 recruiters working it, but 3 applications in total. The one underneath, business development, 468 recruiters, but only 5 applications. So yeah, don't get put off by the amount of recruiters that are working the role. Get working it. If there's only a handful of applications, there's still room for you to be working it. But as I say, if you do want to sort of jump into one of these roles, it's try to make it quite easy for you. All you would need to do is you click on work role. This brings up the sort of terms and conditions. It shows you a little do's and don'ts about working this role. If you're happy to work it, you click OK, you click the box and click OK, and it then turns green and it says, working. And once you've done that, you can obviously then look at opening up the role in more detail and getting the full job description and getting a good understanding of what it is that the client's looking for. Now, most of our clients, I should say, are more than happy to have their company name put on there, so obviously it can help you out fill the role with a little bit more confidence. Some of them are not so happy about it, so we have to respect their wishes, so we do have to mark some of them as confidential. I appreciate that can be a little bit difficult when sourcing. Trust me, I know. I've been doing recruitment since 2015. I get the pain that can come from added friction whilst trying to work a role. But unfortunately, as most recruiters will say, if it's your client, you have to respect their wishes, and we also want to keep them happy and make sure that we continue to get the roles and we continue to support them, and in turn obviously supporting you. But I will say that obviously myself, admin that are on the platform, we're always happy to guide you. So if you do have a candidate that's put forward, always just say, look, submitted, whoever it may be, the candidate, just wanting to make sure that it's not for the same company. What's your thoughts? Just drop us a message and we'll sort of work together. This platform's about collaboration, so we want to work with you. Look, I'll could talk about that for quite a long time, but we're limited on time today, so I'll carry on. Exchange roles. These are live roles. They're from live clients, but these are roles from recruiters like yourselves that are on the platform. They have joined to get support. Really, they have got live clients who have got roles, and they're trying to fill these roles and build a better relationship with their clients. So they're offering a split fee to you to help fill the role. So for me, this is where RecXchange started. I came up with RecXchange a few years ago because I'm running my own recruitment business, and I was doing okay. I had a fair amount of roles, and I won a client who gave me a lot more roles. And I, as a solo recruiter with his own business, I think it was in my first year, I ended up with I think over 100 roles, and I couldn't do it all, but I wanted to do as much as I can. I didn't want to let down my existing clients. I didn't want to let down my new client, but I couldn't do it all. It was too much for a solo person, and I couldn't find a place where it was easy to sort of collaborate and deal with other trusted recruiters. So, you know, that's where RecXchange sort of came about, and that's why exchange roles for me is probably one of the most important parts of this platform. You know, we can see we've got 55 roles at the moment across 178 countries. There's 263 pounds, or whatever that might be, maybe sort of $330,000 in split flip fees that are available. You know, across the roles, we've had nearly 400 matches, which is a great result. Obviously, you know, we want to keep working, keep plodding, and see if we can get more and get these roles filled for the recruiters that upload them. And the way that this works is this is done by what we call our exchange engine. It's our internal matchmaking software that we've built from scratch. And the beauty of this one is it is multi-directional, so it doesn't just look at your candidate and see if they're suitable for the role that you intend them for. You actually upload your candidates to the exchange engine basically blind. You know, you don't point it in the direction of a particular role. You basically just upload it to the exchange engine, because in the exchange engine you also got all of the roles. Okay, so you've got all the roles and you've got all the candidates, and it's scanning every single role to every single candidate, and every single candidate to every single role. So it's multi-directional and it speeds it up. So it does mean that your candidate or your role could get a match within 30 seconds, 30 minutes, whatever it may be. You know, we find that a lot of people tend to upload their B and C list candidates and basically, you know, go to sleep and let the engine do the work for you, and you'll hopefully you wake up with matches and potential sort of money pipeline in the morning. So yeah, this is obviously the core, the heartbeat of RecXchange. It was about recruiter collaboration. So you can see, you go through, you can have a look at one of the roles. Obviously these are all open. You know the terms and conditions and sort of legal contracts and stuff is done at a later stage. Obviously no data is shared until those are signed, but with this you can obviously look through. So obviously at this point we do recommend that you don't put your client details in there. If you want to, you can. It's up to you. You do have an option to do so. Personally, I wouldn't, but like I say, you can go through, and the whole idea of this is to have a look at the role itself and think, you know what, have I got any candidates on my database or in my network or people I'm connected to? Have I got anyone that could be suitable for this? And if you think you might, then have a look. You know, have a look through. Reach out to them and just say, look, I'm on the platform. I've seen a role that's come up. It could be quite good for you. You know, this is obviously the role. This is what they're looking for. Here's the salary. Obviously, some of them don't have the salary, which, you know, again, is their choice. You can obviously give as much detail as you can to your client, to your candidate. And if they're interested, you can upload their CV to the exchange engine. And again, no data is shared until both recruiters are happy and you've got candidates' permission to share their details with the other recruiter. And yeah, you can obviously then work on the deal and, you know, sign the contract and work on a split fee agreement. You also got on here, I should say as well, my roles. This, like the client channel, this is your private space. All right, so if you do have your own clients in your own private clients in your client channel, then if they have any roles that you want to work, you can add them here. Again, big pink button, just upload your details in there to add the role. If you then later on want to add your role to the exchange engine for other recruiters to work, you can do so. It'll be on the job card. I don't think I've got any that are actually listed on here. Potentially not. But yeah, obviously once it's all on there, you can upload it to the exchange engine if you don't want to work it yourself, or if you've already exhausted your network, and then hopefully you get some matches. You know, I think I may have rejected a few of these. off. Oh, there we go. So once you start getting matches, you can see in the pipeline, you can see, you know, obviously the matching score, you can see a bit of a review, get a bit more of an idea of what it is that, why the AI matchmaking software thinks this is a good fit, why it's worth the 78% that it says there. And obviously if you're happy, you can push forward. You know, you can agree the terms and you can accept it and move forward with it. So like I say, that's your personal space. That's your own roles that you can work on yourself. And quickly for the last sort of 5-6 minutes, just to go through candidate section. So as you first enter into the candidate channel, you've obviously got your search. Now again, this is the data that we use through Apollo. They've got over 270 million verified contacts on their database, and this is candidate profiles. Now, don't need to worry about Boolean searches like most platforms to try and run a search. You can just do everything that's comma separated in this, so it is a little bit easier. So again, if we wanted to look at, I don't know, let's have a look at the health and safety manager. I think I saw on there. Probably going to need IOSH. Health and safety. IOSH, let's have a look. 50 candidates found. Oh, I didn't put a location. All right, never mind. Yeah, so look, you can see a lot of these people just got IOSH as their surname because it's obviously pulled through. I believe Apollo might be using obviously LinkedIn as their data source maybe, but it's public found information. So it may be that these people don't have their surname on there, but they've got their credentials, which will be IOSH. So that would be why that's in there. But again, you can see we've got health and safety officer, health and safety coordinator. Then we've got this IOSH certification, Abu Dhabi, health and safety officer, England. And you can reveal their LinkedIn profile, you can reveal their email or their phone number. So if you do want to use this as a sourcing tool, you know, you can think about how many tokens you've got. You can think about obviously which ways you're more comfortable reaching out to them. You can either then obviously just connect with them on LinkedIn and maybe add a note if you've got that feature, or wait for them to just accept your connection if they do and send them a message. Or you can reveal their email, send it to them, you can send them an email direct. Again, they say that their emails are sort of 95% verified. So you've got a good chance of that working. I think the only emails that really pull through as an option here is actually the ones that are verified. We don't have the ones that are unverified for obvious reasons. And same with the phone number. You can use their phone number and obviously give them a call and just do the quickest route, you know, go straight to them. Call them up, find out if they're looking for any new work, and you know, screen them, see if they can, you know, pass over their CV and get it submitted. So you've got this as an option. You know, it's an underrated tool. I know a lot of people are using it. I think it's a great opportunity to really, you know, get great candidates. These are going to be people that are not always actively looking for a new role, which normally means that they're probably the best quality. Quite often we find that those that are not looking for new roles are the better quality. So it would be more of a headhunting approach to it, but again, great opportunities. Once you're in here, once you've got the candidate details, you can obviously upload them, add candidate. Again, hard to miss, but all you got to do is just upload the PDFs. You can, I think if you're on Lite and Pro, you can upload more than one at a time. But yeah, obviously everyone have a look through, see if there's any that you feel are suitable for a role. You can apply to your own private roles. You can apply to a Recs Direct role. You can add them to the Exchange engine if you wanted. You've got all of those options available to you. So everything again is all managed through here. Let's say if you wanted to put this person into one of the roles, you just click on the apply to premium, you find the role that you want them to go to, let's have a look at one that I'm working. Oh, no, this one's closed, so I'll do this one. Add more. That was the candidate. And just like that. Oh no, of course I haven't got a CV for him. Can't add him. But that's how it works, basically. Again, look, these candidate section, that's your space. That's private. No one else can see it. You know, this is only for you. We've also got in here your talent pools. Again, just a way to keep everything more efficient, keep everything just in place, really, and a little bit easier for you to access. So, you know, if you're specializing in certain areas and you want to start building out a candidate base for nurses in London or Java developers in Dubai, you know, if you find that a lot of your roles are in those, you can just save your candidates to these pools. So if a role comes up, you don't have to do a search for your own database. You don't have to do a search on AI sourcing. You've got your pre-saved candidates all in a single place. You just head straight in, click on view pool. You can obviously add more candidates if you want. And that's it. That's all you have to do, really. It's as easy as that. Like I say, we try and keep this really efficient. We try and keep this as easy going as we possibly can. But look, I appreciate everyone's time. I know that we're about to run out of time. Haven't seen any messages come through on the chat. So what we'll do is, obviously, if anyone obviously is on the platform, you've got some messages. If you're already on RecXchange, put it into the live chat. You know, with the admin or myself, we're always sort of lurking about. We're always happy to help if we can. Yeah, I think, you know, we've got a lot of great opportunities with RecXchange, and I think there's obviously, you can see there's a lot of money to be earned. I think there's about $800,000 available for recruiters to earn, and that is all your fee. Like, that is everything that you would earn as a recruiter. And I think that's, I'll go back into that. I think that's the key thing to remember, is that everything is transparent. So all of the fees that you see on the platform, they're all what you would earn. That's all your split. So in Rex Direct, if it says $7,000, $8,000 bounty, if you successfully place the role, that's what you would earn. That's what you'd get paid. So there's a great opportunity on there at the moment. You know, I think last week we added over $100,000 in fees that recruiters would earn. We've got more coming this week. We've got a lot more meetings happening over the next few weeks as well. So yeah, there's a lot to be earned at the moment. It's just a case of just, you know, find the right candidates, get them put forward, and, you know, hopefully they get the role. Obviously, after the interviews, and again, we guide you through that. Obviously, if you're working with another recruiter, they can work with you on it. You know, it'll just be the case of finding the right candidates. So, but like I say, I appreciate we're about to, obviously, we have run over time slightly. I appreciate everyone's time. If you're on the platform, you've got questions, put it into the live chat. If you're not on the platform, we've got a live chat on the website. You can message on there, and again, we can obviously get in touch and help you out with any questions or any answers that you may need. But again, I really appreciate everyone's time. Thank you so much for coming. This is a weekly thing, so we'll see you next week. Thank you.